Hey guys, Mark here. Well, welcome along today to Loegria Motorcycle Company here in Brockenhurst in the beautiful New Forest, and today we're taking out the all-new Royal Enfield Classic 350. So let's just go and have a quick look around the showroom just to show you what it's like in here. Here we have a lovely, wonderful display of all of the Royal Enfields, and this is Claire, the face of Royal Enfield Brockenhurst. Say hi, Claire. Great stuff. Just look around this lovely showroom. We've got Meteors, Himalayans, got the all-new Classic again in that lovely bronze colour, Interceptor. So it's always worth the trip down here, guys. Lots of nice bikes to see, lovely cafe, and obviously the lovely Claire. Well, hi there guys, Mark here, and welcome along today to a review on the lovely Royal Enfield Classic 350, and it's kindly known to me by the Loegria Motorcycle Company here in Brockenhurst in the New Forest. So let's take a look around this lovely bike and just run through the specifications on it in the usual way. So this has the same engine that you will find on the Meteor. It's a 349cc single cylinder, single overhead cam, 2-valve. Power on this is a modest 20 horsepower at 6,100 RPM. So it's a really nice low revving sort of thumping single. Just what you want for sort of relaxed cruising. Torque on this is 27 Newton meters at 4,000 RPM. We've got a 13 litre fuel tank on this. Royal Enfield are quoting 2.6 litres per 100 kilometres, which equates to around about an amazing 100 miles per gallon. I have looked at a few reviews online, and these engines really do give that sort of economy, so very, very economical. Gives a range of about 250 miles. Got 170 millimetres of ground clearance. Tyres on these are made by Seat, which is an Indian manufacturer. Very good tyres on these. Got a 100 section on the front with a 19-inch wheel. On the rear we have a 120 section on an 18-inch wheel. Now, for the eagle-eyed of you, you may have noticed that it's had the passenger seat, the dual seat, taken off, which I think looks a little bit better, gives it more of a classic look. They do come with the dual seat, but you can obviously just take it off, and you can actually also get some sort of like fake springs to give it that sort of more authentic look as well. So 805mm seat height on this. It's nice and low, you can get your feet down easily. Have a look at me on the bike. I'm 5'7" tall with a 30-inch inside leg. I weigh about 75 kilos, just so you can see me how I fit it, and then you can compare that for yourself. Five-speed gearbox on these, and unlike the Meteor, which has a heel and toe changer, this just has a conventional toe shift. 195 kilos wet weight on these, pretty decent. So this engine is absolutely fantastic on this. It retains the well-loved thump, and it's inspired by the 1948 G2 model. So service interval on these, service schedule, I'll just put some cutscenes up for you to have a little look at. First service is around about the 300 mile mark, and they should inspect and check the valves as well. You've got oil and filter changes at 6,000 miles and valve inspect and adjust at 6,000 miles. And there's also kind of like an inspection service at 3,000 miles, but for me that's just more of a pre-ride check. I would just check the bike before you ride it. So generally speaking, it's oil and filter and valves at 6,000 miles, first service at 300. These are very, very cheap and easy to service. Most owners, I would say, would end up servicing themselves at some point. Brakes on these are by Bybri, which is by Brembo. ABS is standard. Got a single disc on the front, non-adjustable front forks, and we have preload adjustable rear shocks, single disc on the rear. Very nice, easy to read, sort of traditional clocks. So these are available in 7 different colour schemes. We've got Halcyon Green, which is what this one is, Halcyon Black and Grey. You've also got the dark model, and you've also got the Chrome edition, which comes in bronze and red. So the dark model comes in black and grey, the Chrome edition comes in bronze and red. Good 3-year warranty on these. Now there you go guys, let's go for the test ride, shall we? Right then, Royal Enfield Classic 350 test ride. I really love riding Royal Enfields. So very easy to swing a leg over, as it's quite a low bike, and very easy off the side stand, and it's got a good decent side stand as well. So just run through all the controls on this bike. So we have a cable clutch, which is non-adjustable for span. You've got your little sort of button in the front there, which changes the little LCD dash from trip meter, odometer. You've got your high beam, low beam and pass, indicators, horn. Let's try the horn out. That's good. And we have our engine start, engine kill and hazards, and that's about it really, nice and simple. We have a single disc on the front, a non-adjustable for span front brake lever, no ride-by-wire throttle, just a basic twist throttle with a cable. All very nice simple stuff on this, which is just really what you want. It's back to basics of the biking. So lovely little dash there, traditional speedo, little LCD display showing your fuel gauge, eco and clock, and that's all your trip meters and everything in it as well. That space there is where you can get the tripper navigation fitted as an optional extra, and there's an absolute load of optional extras you can buy for these from the Royal Enfield website. So let's do this. Oh, lovely. So as soon as you start it up, you've got that very characteristic single cylinder thump to it. That's part of the charm of this bike. So easily into first gear, and away we go. So very nice light clutch, takes nice and early. We're here in the beautiful New Forest, south of England. A perfect location for testing one of these Royal Enfields. It's all about cruising on one of these bikes, nice and steady, without a care in the world, in nice places, and this is definitely the bike for the job. So lots of pull from low RPM, very eager little engine. It's not powerful, top speed is about 70 miles an hour on this, but it's not about speed on this bike, it's just about cruising 50 miles an hour or thereabouts, enjoying the scenery on a bike like this. So let's just run through this bike in the usual way. So starting with the mirrors, very clear, classic shape, keeping in with this style of bike. Got a good view behind me, little bit of a view of my mirror, of my elbows, but not too bad. So I do like this sort of traditional speedo, nice to see in a world of modern TFTs and LCDs. It's all very clear, easy to read speedo, fuel gauge and clock, nice and simple. So So the bike feels nice and light around these bends. It's got a nice weight to it. Feels nice and stable, and the seat tyres feel good as well. Slow it down for Mr. Horsey. So just opening it up a little bit. Yeah, there's plenty of pull from low RPM. Clutch and gearbox, all very slick, easy to use. Very light as well and positive. So this uses the same engine as in the Meteor. It's got a lovely characteristic thump to it. It's difficult to portray and get across how nice an engine this is. It's got a lovely sound, it's not overly loud, and all you can feel is just a nice thump. There's no nasty vibrations, it's just thump, thump, thump like that, and it's just wonderful. Just trying the back brake out, that's got a nice little bit of bite to it. Oh, look at this, glorious. Nice day today. Winter still in England at the moment. It's a bit chilly, but not too bad. So we'll just try a little bit of a brake test out. Nothing behind, front brake only. Still bedding in a bit. But yeah, it's not mind-blowing, but it's not this. It doesn't matter on a bike like this. It's all in keeping, and they're more than adequate. But one thing that always impresses me with the Meteor and this bike is their quality of the suspension. You know, it's just basic suspension. It's nothing expensive, nothing flashy. It's non-adjustable on the front, but it's got a very, very plush ride. Very compliant. It takes all the bumps nicely. It doesn't wallow. They've just got it just right. And add that to the very, very comfortable seat. It just makes for a very, very enjoyable ride. The riding position on this, this is more of a sort of a sit on the bike, shall we say, and it's very much upright. The Meteor is more laid back cruiser style, but a very relaxing position indeed, especially the seat. It's very, very plush and comfortable. And my legs, if you look at me on the cutscene on the bike at the beginning, you'll see they're pretty much straight down. So a very, very easy, relaxing position on it. So I'll just drop it down the gearbox a bit, get the revs up a bit. Kind of feels like I'm doing about 4,000 or 5,000 RPM at the moment, and can virtually feel no vibrations whatsoever. So it's a very, very smooth engine. It's not going to make your fingers numb over a long journey. But just the overall ride quality is just superb. Right, so we're just going to come into a little sleepy village now, just to see how the Classic 350 handles low speed running. Currently in second gear. Just checking for any fueling issues. Modern Euro 5 bikes can sometimes be a bit lean, and they can be the fueling can be a bit sort of surge. It can sort of surge and hunt a bit at low RPM, but this is feeling absolutely wonderful. It's very, very light on the throttle. It's not snatchy. It's got a nice mellow throttle to it. It's just an absolute delight just to chuck around. Very, very light. So into third gear now. 30 mile an hour. Yeah, absolutely fine on the old fueling. Just thumping along beneath me, no problem at all. Yeah, that's just like a sewing machine ticking along, that is. So very, very nice. So if you had to go to work, do a bit of commuting on this, it's very, very happy at low revs. So some single cylinder engines can be a bit thumpy as well at low RPM, and they can shake, rattle and roll, but no, this is just super smooth. It's got the balancer shaft on the engine, and you know, it's doing a lovely job. So all good on the town riding for the Classic 350. Okay, so out on the open road a bit more now, just taking it up to 55 in top gear now, and there's plodding along very nicely, up to an indicated 60 now. Absolutely no vibrations at all, just that lovely glorious thump from that single cylinder. Wind blast, all totally acceptable. Nice steady wind hitting me in the chest, nothing untoward. Quality of the ride, suspension feels lovely, very, very plush and compliant. Just going down the gearbox, fourth into third, very, very light, into second, nice and easy around the corners, just winding it open a little bit. So I'm just going to keep it in fourth gear up this hill now. So a nice easy 50 without, it's very effortless. So as I said earlier, top speed of around about 70 on this. So if you did have to go onto dual carriageways, you know, you would be to hold a sort of an indicated 65, I would say. But I think with this bike you're going to be probably planning more gentle riding on sort of country roads really. Again, mirrors are still nice and clear, see behind fine. Okay, so just short shifting through the gearbox. The beauty of this engine is it's got that nice low revving torque to it, so you don't have to rev it. It's totally not about revving it high, just ride it in the low to mid range. So here we are, it's just sort of showing a nice indicated easy 55, and that's kind of the sweet spot on this bike really, I would say. Nice relaxing cruising. So yeah, very nice riding position guys. Smooth, sweet single cylinder engine, very economical. Just generally a charming bike to ride really, is the best I can describe it really. So we'll just try the Enfield out round some twisty bends. Yeah, it's very light, turns in very nicely. There's no wallowing in the suspension. C8 tyres feel good and grippy. Yeah, it's actually definitely a different riding position than the Meteor. The Meteor is like a cruiser, laid back sort of style. Yeah, this one you're a bit more on it, shall we say. Yeah, it turns in very nicely. You definitely have some fun around the twisties on this. But it's just a relaxing, charming bike, just to enjoy gentle cruising on is what this is all about, this bike, on days like today. Wonderful. Right, we'll just wrap this up, do a little final walk around. Yeah, that's a lovely, lovely bike to ride, that is. Highly recommend these. To do nicely. Right, we'll just see what it's like into neutral. There's neutral, first, neutral, nice and easy. Well, let's give you a little sound check of this wonderful single cylinder. Great stuff. Decent side stand. Alright, just leave it running. Show you the indicators and the lights. I believe these little lights here are called tiger's eyes. So just basic bulbs on this, no fancy LEDs, just standard bulbs on these. But again, it's all keeping with the bike. That's your high beam. There you go. And there you are guys, Royal Enfield Classic. See what it's like to push around. Good turning circle, very, very easy to push around, so that's good. If you have to move it in your garage, just try the centre stand out. That's a nice thing, it's got a centre stand. for cleaning and maintenance. Oh, very, very easy, so that's good stuff. Right, let's have a final walk round, shall we? So I do love this Halcyon green. It's one of my favourites, but I've actually seen the bronze. If you have a look at that one at the beginning of the video, and I don't know, I'm liking the bronze now. I do like it with a single seat now. I think that's really good look. What are your thoughts, guys? Let me know, because you can get to see all this lovely green here. So single disc on the front by Brie, more than adequate. Decent tyres. Star of the show is the beautiful single cylinder 350 that thumps along lovely. Very, very economical, 100 to the gallon UK. So in there's no storage, it's just a battery and a toolkit in there with a key operation. But you know, looking at the castings of the engine, it's all wonderfully built and made. Really nice build quality. Decent back brake, really good shock absorbers. Very compliant and plush quality ride. So in here, again, no storage, that's the air filter in there. Key opens that. But you know, it's just wonderful looking at all this. Lovely stuff. Yeah, I mean, for the money, these are just such good value. And there's that nice little dash. Alright guys, so post your comments as always down below. What would you get? A classic or a Meteor? I'm kind of on both sides of the fence really. I sort of prefer the slightly more comfortable position of the Meteor, but I prefer the looks of the classic. And I think if I had to choose right here, right now, I'd go for the classic just because of the looks of it. But anyway guys, please give me a like, share and subscribe to my channel. Post your comments as always, and I'll catch you again in another week or so for another review. This is Mark signing off. All the best guys, ride safe and bye for now.